Welcome to Retro Skill Modelling. This is part 4 of Tamiya's Kawasaki Ninja, the ZX-12R. Scale is 1 to 12. In this part 4, I'm going to be concentrating on the main frame of the bike, and hopefully I'll have time in this video to start on the rear wheel. So let's jump into this and so while I get on. So the first job to do is to clean the contact points of the air intake. This is a sort of a collar thing that will go in front of the bike. There's 3 parts to this, 2 parts at the side and 1 part at the front. It's better if you fit the side parts first. That way the front part, the actual air intake, then lines up with the side parts. No, there's no actual any location points or pins as such, but if you get the side parts square on, it should all line up perfectly. And while that's done, I can start prepping the other parts of the framework. This is the back brake light I'm fitting here. This is a clear plastic part. It's already pre-painted red. I didn't have to paint it. Now, normally I would use a canopy of cement to fit the clear plastic parts, but the housing as such on this is it won't interfere with the lens itself, so I was able to use normal cement to place this in. It is small and it's a little bit tricky to fit in just because of the size of it, but it should just drop into its housing. Next is attaching the intake to the frame. Now, because of the shape of the frame, this can only go in one way, but there's a bit of a knack to it. You have to put the 2 prong parts that are sticking down, loop them inside the circular part of the frame first before putting the back plate onto the main frame. If you do it that way, you should be able to fit it in one go, and the plate marries up with the frame excellently. Next is to fit the back piece. That's the piece with the brake lens in it. Again, a simple process. This shouldn't cause anyone any problems fitting it. As you can see, I'm just pointing out where the location pins are. Very easily identified, and it just pushes in. To fit the frame to the main structure of the body, take careful note of the location points for these. Dry fit them, obviously. I know I keep on banging on about that, but it's very important. Dry fit them. Make sure you know how everything is going to line up, because if you don't get this lined up how it's meant to be, it will reflect all the way down the build from then on. So they have to be 100% true and set before you carry on. Allow everything to dry as well at this point. Don't try and jump straight ahead once you get it fitted, because again, you do not want it to go out of alignment at this stage. So once I've cleaned off the contact points, it's time to fit the next part. This forms part of the fuel tank, or the belly pad area. And this was a really nice tight fit. It just slots on. Didn't give me any issues whatsoever. Next is to fit the engine. Now this is quite tricky to fit, and my head gets in the way quite a lot on this. I didn't realise at the time of recording, so I do apologise for that. I'll try and cut out most of it, but you will see my head more often than not, unfortunately. Now, this is connected by 4 points to the engine, and the engine's screwed on with 4 little screws, but it's actually quite difficult to line it up and get the holes lined up. The instructions are not 100% clear on this. At one point I almost gave up and asked my wife how it goes, because my wife builds these all the time. This is my first bike, so I wasn't 100% sure, but I persevered with it. The problem I had, the 2 prong things that are coming down, they were interfering a little bit with the engine. It just didn't slot in, so I had to push them slightly as I angled the engine in. I was worried about these snapping off, but I done it very gently. In the end, it just dropped in. Now, to fit the screws, I pay close attention to the instructions, because there's different size screws that are going to be going in here. I find it helpful if you have a ruler, like my metal ruler here, to measure them, to make sure you you know exactly which one is going where. Unfortunately, the kit just comes in a plastic bag with screws in it, so there's no way to really tell unless you measure them what length the screw that it's calling for. Don't do it by eye, because some of them can be quite a small bit of difference. I don't know how that affects the build down the line at this stage, but it's always better to get the correct screw in. Now, the little screwdriver is slightly magnetic, so it's aids in picking up the screw and screwing them in. The actual holes are a little bit smaller than the screw itself. This helps when the screw goes in, it digs into the plastic to bite it, to hold it together. But don't force it, just let it go in naturally and it should go in. Now, this did take me a little while to do. It took me quite some time to line up. Once I got the engine in, then I also had to line up the 4 little holes. Don't be tempted just to line up one, put a screw in and carry on. I did try it that way, and I was knocking everything out of alignment even then. So the best way to do it was try and line all 4 holes up at once, and then just start the screws in before tightening them up. I think it took me around about a half an hour to get the engine in, but once it was in and the screw in, it looked quite good, but it was very, very tricky to fit. And after speaking to my wife about it, she said, yeah, they can be extremely difficult to fit. So you do just have to persevere with it. Next part to go in is the radiator, and that goes, there's 2 location points just where the collar for the air intake is. There's 2 little pins that it just slots in. It was easy enough to fit. Could be a little bit awkward, I suppose, and everything's quite tight at this point as well, so it was easy enough to fit, but because it's tight, you may find it slightly difficult to go in. But once the radiator's on, you can see the whole thing starting to take shape now. So going on to the rear wheel now and the components for that. There's various 1 or 2 things I've got to paint for. So there's a little disc here getting painted in Tamiya's X15 light green. Now the X15 is going to be the main colour for the bike. The chain is going to be 2 different colours. So the inner part of the chain is FX56 metallic grey Tamiya. And for the outside of part of the change, it's X12 gold leaf. Now, the gold leaf that I'm putting on, it's called for that colour, so that's the colour I'm using. But I'm not putting on a thick coat. I'm putting on a very light coat, so the grey comes through the chain, so it's going to look even more metallic and used. And that's a little tip for you. If you're painting a part and you want it to have a worn look, and you're not sure about weathering processes and things like that, just do 1 coat, and generally the bottom colour will come through a little bit, and it will give that appearance of a used part. Then it's back to FX6 metallic grey for the outside part of the sprog, the drive part. The inside of it, I'm using X11 chrome silver, and then it's back to the XF56 metallic grey for the inside of the wheel. Now the instructions are saying paint this the green colour, but I didn't like that idea, and after looking at some photographs it didn't look right, so I've gone for the metal look. And the opposite disc is X32 titanium silver. And as I start the assembly, this is where I'm going to end the video. If I carried on, the video is going to be about 30 minutes long, so I'm trying to keep it to the 10-minute mark. So I'm going to cut it here. So I'm just going to place these 2 parts on. They're self-explanatory. Then I've got to allow time for it to dry anyway. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you go and check out the channel for my other builds. If you subscribe to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you'll be kept up to date, not only with this build, but all my future builds as well, of course. Hit the like button. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. And of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.